Hello everybody, this is Frankie Day for Frankie Day Models. Okay, for this beautiful Thursday, I have for you video number 4 for an old build I started about 2-3 years ago. And it's a Trumpeter 1/350 scale HMS DREADNOUGHT. I took some stills, we got them right in front of me. We're going to swing this camera about. We're going to take a look at these 12 images that I downloaded on my files, so you guys can view for your pleasure or just laugh at. Okay, I've been on the tube doing some research on other builders. They got military modeler Paul and Greg Riley. Their work is very exceptional, and they inspired me to finish up my Dreadnought. Like I say, guys, all these builds I'm building, I'm an elephant. I never forget. I will get back to them. I will finish them up. I should have this thing finished up pretty soon. I got a lot of work to do on this thing. And for another thing too, I'm going to add on this thing. I commented on Military Paul's video of his Dreadnought. He's doing a lot of scratch building on it. Like I do the same thing. And on the mast, I'm going to replace it with brass rod instead of using the kit. When I seen that Markgraf, that battleship, SMS Markgraf, the survivor, the sinking of the Markgraf and Scapa Flow, the masts were very flimsy. They're terrible. They're horrible. So don't be bashful, fellas. You got real small 1, 2, 3 millimeter brass rod you can get, you know. You can get those hobby shops. They're excellent. You can silver solder them together or just ACC glue them, super glue them. But I'm going to go that route. I got some scratch building I can do this thing the kit didn't offer on there. You just got to research these things out. Okay, this thing's with the various washes. It's all painted by hand. The only thing that's done airbrushing this thing was the deck. And that was airbrushed with teak with a touch of yellow in it. I'll let that teak dry. I gave it a wash, a brown wash. And repeated the wash until you'll see it on the slides. I could be back on the big stick, the Iowa. I'll be working on her tomorrow. But tonight, me and the Dreadnought, we're going to have a date together. We're going to. She's such a pretty battleship, and I'm going to go ahead and try to get it all finished up and everything. And Lord knows when I have it finished. But this thing here, I want to tell you something about this HMS Dreadnought kit. It's one of the Trumpeter's really difficult kit to build. It's very difficult. I highly would not suggest a novice trying to attack this thing, because he or she will get lost in it. And the instructions are very, very confusing. So thank God for cyberspace, and thank God for us fellow modelers. That's a Bible of building this thing correctly. And the Dreadnought's a beautiful ship. She was the first battleship in the world that revolutionized all navies. Because you guys got to remember back in the days of the Civil War and the Spanish-American War, when we had these pre-dreadnoughts coming out, like the battleship Maine, the protected cruiser Brooklyn, the battleship Ohio, the battleship Michigan, all these great white fleet battleships during the Spanish-American War. The British, I don't know about us, but we were getting there. But the English, they had better ideas. So they came out with the ultimate design for a 527-foot battleship, which was the biggest thing in the world at the time as a battleship. And it was the first modern battleship that ever arose and inspired all navies, even us. The battleship Arizona, battleship Maryland, the battleship Oklahoma, the battleship Nevada, all these old battleship Texas, all these battleships, King George V, the Rodney, the Nelson, the Queen Elizabeth, all these battleships were inspired by that design. And actually, for technical note, actually the HMS Dreadnought was the first ship that had even our batteries that were distributed evenly. And she was a flagship during the Baltic at across the Scapa Flow, and that she missed the Battle of Jutland probably by months, because she ran the only credit she ever had, she ran the World War I submarine. She was the first battleship that actually sunk a pig boat, and she was awarded for that. But she was refitting in Portsmouth Harbor in England, and that's why she missed Jutland. And she was scrapped by 1920 something like that. She was old. Some shipbreakers, WH shipbreakers or something. I don't know what the name was. They're out of England, and she was sold for scrap. So a lot of these battleships, these dreadnoughts, World War I and World War II, you know, I mean, they actually were copied from this design. So actually, this thing was afloat in Pandora's box. That's what it was. And her particular, she was 527 feet long. She had 4 screws. And she had, what, 5 barbettes? I think they're probably 10, 12-inch guns, maybe. I don't know. No, she wasn't 10 inch. It's probably about 12-inch. Maybe 14-inch. And one thing good about the kit, I can say about the barrels, they already got holes in them already, where the borings, where the shells come out. You guys do what you want with your kit. You know, you get yourself aftermarket. There's a lot of Floridas out there, but the kit gives you enough right there. I don't know if they give you enough to put the railings on the ship, so I got an extra 1/350 scale railing set that'll fit on this too as well. Have left over from previous builds I had before. I got them in an envelope over here. Yeah, I can see right from here. Yeah, they'll work. Okay, enough chatter. Let's take a look at the Dreadnought. I'll explain things as I go through it. Just follow the arrow of the mouse. Okay, guys, here he comes out. Here we go. If I turn this thing around. Boy, I'm going to get you a tripod. This thing is not good. You want to come in a little bit. Alrighty. Right here, I got the, I got to add some sheet plastic right across here. This is where your netting fits at. These are your net barbs. You got like davits coming here with the pulleys. They lower them down, take the net, and they, so far when they bring the nets up, actually they trice them up as they bring them up. They fold them across here. So the piece of sheet styrene is probably about 2 millimeter. That comes right here for your, right through here. That's where your net comes up. So you guys get the really fine netting right there, rolled up about the diameter of a Q-tip, and I fold it nicely right there, like I did my mark graph. Whole hull is painted with hand brush. I did it the way the English did it. Although I did prime the hull first. I primed the whole thing before I painted to it. So far, I got a lot of hours in this thing. These turrets come off. I got photo etch parts going on these turrets. I got a lot of photo etch parts coming your way. I ran out of ACC glue. You can't glue brass using this glue or that glue. Ain't gonna work, fellas. We got a metal like that. It may work in small stuff like these davits coming out of here. Also your rails, also your awning stanchions that come up through here. I also gotta make my, I gotta color in my skylights through here. I gotta add my chain. A lot I haven't done yet. I finally glued this in yesterday. Okay, we'll take the next slide. A little overview job there. That's about the way she looked, I think. I enjoy watching Modeler Paul and Greg Riley and a lot of these fellas, these Englishmen that build, that have very great knowledge of English dreadnoughts and ships, how they look like. Because they're from England, they know how it looks like. And the English build a lot better than Americans, I think, is because Brian King is an Englishman, knows a profile of the modeler in a publication of Model Builder magazine of the year of 1981. He said that the only problem with Americans, they build too clean. I build too clean. But I like to weather these things up because I know how they look like. When you're out there in the Baltic Sea, all rough out there, cold and everything, and they get rust real quick. I don't like those on top of you call them you call them stack gratings. I'm going to make my own using real fine wire. I got some real fine wire, real fine. It's probably it's real fine, about the same thickness as photo etch as they give you. And I'm going to scratch build those in there. And the mask left off is because I need some ACC glue because I got photo etch going on there too. The HMS Dreadnought, she went through a lot of refittings. So Trumpeter, the good folks at Trumpeter, our Asian brothers that make good model ships and models in general, they offered this kit in different versions. This here is the 1915 version. I think it is. Let me see. I could be wrong. Yeah, I was right. I wasn't wrong. I think they got the 1907 version and the 1920, I don't know what it is that they got there. But they're all different, you know. So this is the 1915 version, and I trust that it's accurate. Now, here's one for the Gipper. Once I get the mass all installed, I'm going to start my rigging. Guess what I'm going to use for rigging? I'm going to blow your guys' minds. I'm going to use my hair for it. Yes, sir. People say, you're nuts, Frank. Use your hair? Man, you're stepping too much of this stuff. I said, no. You go back in your history, you look at your model builders out there. During the Revolution, during the Battle of the Nile, during the Battle of 1812, a lot of English sailors were captured as prisoners of war. And to keep and what they did, they allowed them to build model ships. A lot of them were modelers. Excellent modelers, like you guys are. And they took these things and they built them exactly, and there was no thread around. There was nothing. What they used, they had long hair anyway. They pulled the hair out and made the rigging out of it. I've done that before. I built a model in a bottle. It was the Republic. It was one of Donald McKay's last clippers that he built, and I used human hair on that. And it works very, very well. It works on fine scales like 1/350 all the way down, but anything more than 350 is larger, no dice. And I got news for you, hair, it works very well, a lot better than thread, because it's got protein in it. And with that protein with your hair, it loves this glue. You glue your hair to your glue, to the mask, and wherever you go, it don't take that much, because thread, you got to really taut it out. If you're using sprue, and it's loose, you want it tight, you got to take a cigarette lighter and don't get too close. And you heat up an object like a knife, X-Acto knife, or dirk, or something. And so it's really hot and it's really touch the sprue and it'll tighten up real quick. But you're taking chances doing that. If you do that, it'll pull your mask over. So you don't want to go there. So I'm using brass masks out of this. If I'm rigging, use my hair. Okay, next slide. A little close up right there. I got to run my chain down through the house lip, down there to the hawse. Wrap around that gypsy head. See these skylights? They got to be colored in. I got a little bit of wash around these fittings here. These are very delicate right here. Very delicate. You look at them cross-eyed, they'll break on you. That's why I say you cannot use regular glue. These are all brass. Before I'd used an airbrush, I was very excellent at using a brush. I could make a brush look like an airbrush. I'm very skilled with a paintbrush. Because at the time I was building these things when I was a little boy, there wasn't no such thing as an airbrush. Now talk about airbrushes. My father, he had an airbrush one time. Now check this out, guys. This is another one for the Gipper. My dad said he had an airbrush one time. It was American made. It was made by DuPont company. It was known as a touch-up brush. They didn't have any compressors back in those days. So you know what you did for air source? Check this out, boys. You had a little tube went into your airbrush. You stuck it in your mouth and you blew through that tube. You better have lungs like a bullfrog to paint a model with that. But they use that for touch-up, like touching up small stuff. My dad demonstrated that one time and about blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. It works because it builds up pressure inside that thing and it just comes down. It's about 5 or 6 ps. It's about 5 to 10 psi. Depends on which shape your lungs are. If you're a smoker, you'll give before you do anything. Actually, you'll black out and just croak. Okay, next one, fellas. A little close up there. I use washers on this thing too. Washers to get you out of trouble. They'll magnify your detail and bring it out. The thing was a clean ship one time. When is it sea and war? Didn't serve no war. It was a flagship for the Baltic Fleet. If it did any heroism at all, it sunk that German the pig boat, and also it was a flagship of the Baltic Fleet, Scap and Flow, up Norway up through there. And she was a very proud ship. Going aft, you can see how I use the washer on those decks right there. Now, I'm kind of puzzled if Craig Riley's models, he built one almost treated like mine is. I don't know if he went out and bought a wooden decking for this thing. It looks like he did. I don't know. But that thing looks sweet. It really does. Now, like I say, I'm going to put plastic all through here. Strip, about 2 millimeter. Ends there, comes right across there to there. This is where your, like I said before, your net. And these are your net booms come down. See how it is? You can see that deck right there? How that wash brings in. Here's the gypsy head right there, which is the capstan. They take that chain and wrap it around there. But one thing they do, they put a chain locker. These are your chain lockers right here. You call them chain scuttles. These are open. They trice up like this. When you get special sea and anchor detail, underway ship's color, anchor ball up, anchor ball down. They close these hatches over. That's an early design from the 19th century. Same thing they did on the battleship Maine. All those, all those chains will go through here. Your anchor chains will go there. That's why I'm not surprised they didn't put a chain plate across there where the chains goes across there. I guess they didn't come to that realization yet. Like I say, if you use skylights, these got to be all colored in. Instead of using a felt pencil or a paintbrush, I got some decal paper. I airbrushed it last night blue. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them at the dimensions of these skylight openings represent openings of the skylight. These are your awning stanchions. They got awnings come over here. You got another one here and one over here too. Let's close through the deck and everything. Also the main battery. There's more skylights I got to do. All these are skylights all through here. I could do a little more touch-up painting around here. Right here, this is where your photo wedge fits there. These are those deck plates. I don't think they're prisms. I think they're deck plates. And they give you photo wedge. So you fill glue in there, ACC in there, you pop them in there. Make sure you paint these deck plates first. Because you make a boo-boo by putting those deck plates in there, not painting them. It's going to be all brass. They're supposed to be the same color as the ship is. And you're going to stain that beautiful deck you just got done painting. And you're going to be very, very upset with yourself. There's more app right there. You can see how that washwork's on there. I was thinking of getting a wood deck, but then go screw it. Let's go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way. I'm not lazy. Another overview of it. I'm going to start painting up the ship's boats tonight and probably install them in boat cradles. I got a few things I could do before I get some my ACC glue. That's going aft right there. Yeah, she's I can see how those navies actually picked up on the design of this thing and put their own to it. That's very smart. I mean, like I say, she was a floating Pandora's box. She influenced us, everybody. She's a beautiful ship, you know. She's a wonderful vessel. I love the English dreadnoughts. They're beautiful. Okay, here's one. Here's the big ham. This is the Queen Elizabeth Trumpeter, 1/350 scale. I was tinkering with this last night. This is how big this thing is compared to Queen Elizabeth. The Queen Elizabeth is probably 139 feet bigger than 130, yeah, almost 114 feet bigger than this, and a lot wider. The Queen Elizabeth was made 1912. And she was 639 feet long. She was a lot larger than what we had. The battle wagons that we had at Pearl Harbor were 624 feet and 94 feet wide. So, like I see again, the Royal Navy was so pleased with the design of the Dreadnought, and they could see better ships coming the way. They used this as a base. They all did. Even we did. We, United States Navy, we got all of our, believe it or not, all of our designs came from the English. We learned a lot from them. Look at the Arizona compared to Queen Elizabeth. Looks like the same, don't it? Look at the Battleship Maryland, the Battleship Tennessee, the Battleship California. It's all shaped like this. The Dreadnought didn't have a breakwater. I ain't talking about the Ford breakwater. They call it a breakwater. It comes up like this, comes up like this. Here it is right here. Okay, guys, that's about it. That's the history. That's the big shot. That's a shot of the day. Wow, too much of a guy. Okay, I hope you great fellas enjoyed that. I know I did. I'm gonna start making my videos like this from now on. Lately, they've been too damn bland. Lately, I got this beautiful camera here, and I'm gonna start making shots, making stills, and do it to the bunker, the bunker Panzerman's bunker. Excuse me, Bill. I'm sorry, brother. I love you. I'm very sorry. Panzerman's bunker. He does a wonderful job. He's another one that's very great with a paintbrush. Oh yeah, he can. Oh yeah, Freddie Duarte, Gilbert McDragon. Those guys are excellent. They're the masters of the paintbrush. Okay. What else I got going there? I do damn well with something here. Oh, yeah, right here. You probably saw it in the slides. I dug this out of my box. This is a 1949 kit I got. This is the old monocoop by Guillo's. Griddles is that old? They've been in it for a long time. Lindbergh models. They made balsa models for years before they got into plastic. The balsa models they made were 1,000 times better than the plastic ones are. Good kits. Oh, I got something else I need to show you here too. I got so much stuff around here, fellas. Oh yeah. One of my commenters on my pet video noticed my Amerigo Vespucci. I've been doing a little work on this thing since the last video. I got a lot of touch-up work doing on this thing. I got the decks work on there and everything, and I got to do a lot of painting back here. Believe you me, this took a long time to get this thing going. You know, for a Hello kit, this is not bad. I got a bunch of blocks I'm going to use. The kit don't give you no blocks at all, no pulleys, no nothing. So you're on your own on that deal. This thing is big enough to do all that. I'm going to put that back over here. We'll break it. Here's another one that you guys are really going to like. Need to finish this up too. This is my paper model. This is my immigrant ship, Frisca. This is one of all the immigrants back in 1904, late 19th century. They're the ones that came across America. They came across America in one of these before the Titanic and Lusitania came out. I don't know how good this thing picks up though, but this is a wonderful ship. I'm going to get this thing finished up. There's your bonus for the day. I got that Heller jig. I can rig up some rat lines on there. This is a nice model. Put your ass over here where you belong. Excuse my back. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I got things to do. I gotta get some supper, and I gotta play music tonight. Yeah, I gotta shove about an hour. So I got me some chow in the ice box right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and have some chow, get it away. Okay, guys, this is Frankie Day from Frankie Day Models, signing off. Take care of mama, take care of little ones. Stay focused when you drive, spend wisely. It's still cold, winter time, it's going to get cold again. It's supposed to get down 12 degrees tonight. And here in Ohio land, probably a lot colder up there where Charlie's at. And so you guys take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you next video. I'll have another video posted with everybody. It'll be Saturday. There'll be another video on the Iowa, and I'll probably have another video probably coming out probably on the Queen Elizabeth too. I'm having so much fun building these things. I really am. My mojo is starting to fire back up again. I'm glad. I'm feeling a lot better. I went to the VA yesterday. I've got to tell you this. And they told me, so what it is, the weather. He says, a lot of people coming in with headaches. He says, there's got to be something up there somewhere that's causing these headaches. I mean, I never had a headache like that in my life. You know, I never get headaches. But, you know, I think what it is, I know what's probably causing it. I just now thought about that, working up close, not using. God darn, Frank. Not using these. I'm forgetting to believe. I'm beginning like old fuds like me. You start, you think you're still young, but you're not. Because your eyes change, your insides change, everything changes because you're growing old. So by using this for close-up work will keep me from getting hurt because I'm getting really close wearing these reading glasses. I only use these just for like working on a model or close-up work. When I take them off, I work all day long, I can see like a bird. But I think wearing these glasses right there and looking up close like that, because I'm squinting my eyes to focus closer. That's what these are for. So I learned a very valuable lesson. That's pretty much what the headache came from. Oh man, it hurt. It felt like two bull goats hit me. Right here. You know, radiated in the top of my head. I go, whew. Man, I hope I ain't gonna stroke out, because I had a buddy of mine that said he had a stroke. He said it all started out with a big old headache. And they said he went down after that. And I got thinking about that, so please God, don't take my soul yet. My work ain't done yet. I got a lot of work to do before I die. I'm going to be here for a long time. With longevity in my family, mom, dad, they'd all died in their hundreds. I've got an aunt right now who's 108 years old. And she does little work. And she takes care of herself and everything. So she opens Pandora's box for me. I may be here for another 20 more years. You never know. I hope so, because I like to be here just to model a few fellas, and I love life. I enjoy life, because I know that once I leave this planet, like we all know, this stuff ain't gonna go with us. Nobody takes a U-Haul to their grave. Nobody does. This stuff's only made for the living only. As long as you're alive, you can enjoy it and everything else. Okay. Oh yeah. No. You keep looking around, I keep showing things I forget to show you guys. This propeller that I made. I made that for my Monocoupe 90. I need to lacquer that down. I laminated that with using wood. I learned that back in my free flight days. This prop is pretty symmetrical. It's going to fly very well. I even got a brass bearing in there. I'm going to go ahead and make a Nason clutch for it. I'm ready to go up the Wild Yonder. Climbing high into the sun. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm talking too much because I'm enthused. I'm getting this thing working and done. Okay, this is Frankie Day from Frankie Day Models signing off. We'll catch you on the next video. Will be in Iowa. So stay posted for that, and God bless you all, guys. And please take care of yourselves. I love you, fellas. And thank you very much for your wonderful comments. Also, my new subscribers and people poking in and commenting I've never seen before. I love you guys. Thank you very much. And if you're out there, if one of the views, anybody wants to, in my views like that, I enjoy everything. Thank you, guys. This is Frankie Day from Frankie Day Models signing off. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Stay posted for the Iowa. She's coming right your way.